Hey yo, I'm back with another video, and this is going to be a prediction video for UFC 323, the last pay-per-view of 2025. Also, probably the last pay-per-view in the history of UFC because coming January, UFC will start broadcasting their fight cards on Paramount, and I don't think it'll be a pay-per-view anymore, but definitely we will be having some numbered events. P24. I made a video about that. Check that out. But this is going to be a prediction video for the prelims. For the prelims, yep. I'll make a separate video for the main card because I want to talk in details about all the fights that are going to take place in the main card because the top four fights are all interesting. Some of them do not really make a lot of sense. This Peyton Talbot fight does not really make a lot of sense, but it is what it is. But first, let's start with Muhammad Naimov versus Myron Santos. I'm gonna go with Myron Santos to win this one, probably by a unanimous decision or maybe a finish. I'm not exactly sure. He's 25. He's really young. He's a former tough winner. I think he won the tough against Khan Offley. Defeated Francis Marshall by a split decision. Defeated Sodiq Yusuf by a unanimous decision. I think he's going to defeat Muhammad Naimov by an unanimous decision. Naimov is not really a bad fighter, but I think he is old. He's 31, not exactly old, kind of in his prime. But he has defeated Bogdan Gregg. He has defeated Khan Offley by a decision. He lost to Felipe Lima. Rene Kachok. Prior to that, lost to Oliver Murad. I have no idea. He defeated Nathaniel Lul. But apparently that was like a really bad robbery. I have not watched that fight. So I'm going to go with Myron Santos to win this one by an unanimous decision. Mansoor Abdul Malik. Mansoor Abdul Malik versus Marco Tulio. No, Antonio Trocoli. Why did I say Marco Tulio? Mansoor Abdul Malik is winning this fight, probably by a finish. Because Antonio Trocoli is on a 2-fight losing streak, and he hasn't fought in 2025. How tall is this guy? I think he's 6'5" for the middleweight division. He lost to Krishan Gore and Shara Magomedov. I can understand losing to Shara Magomedov, Shara Bullet, but Krishan Gore, out of all people, come on, dude. He had a draw. Yeah, this guy is bad. Mansoor Abdul Malik, I think he's going to finish him probably by first round finish or maybe a dominant unanimous decision for Mansoor Abdul Malik. All right, let's move on. Ivo Oslan is fighting against Ivo Pranevishki. I don't know much about this guy. He seems to be a good fighter, but I think he trains with he's Polish, right? I think he's Polish. Yep, he's Polish. He's a Cage Warriors champion, not Cage Warrior. What was it? Forgot. But he is probably from the same promotion that forgot. I do not remember the name of that promotion. But he has defeated a bunch of fighters. He has defeated somebody in the Contender Series. Considering the Polish MMA scene, considering Jan Blachowicz, the former champion, legendary Polish power, he can probably get a win. He's also very young, 27 for the light heavyweight division. He's really young. This guy is 29. They are both really young fighters, and Ivo Aslan is on a 2-fight losing streak, which is interesting because this guy I thought would be a really good prospect, but I believe he has lost 2 fights in 2025. Ian Kutelaba got choked out by him and then lost to Billy Alekana. How do you lose against Billy Alekana? Wait a minute. This guy is Billy Alekana. How do you lose to this guy out of all people? I don't think he's that great of a I don't think this guy is that good of a fighter. He got Bogdan Guskov choked him, so he's not a great fighter. Maybe he is good. I just don't know nothing about him. But I'm gonna go with this. I don't know who to pick in this one because I've never seen this guy fight, so I'm not gonna pick anybody. This is actually a really interesting fight. Edson Barbosa Jr. versus Jalin Turner, the Derek Dula. Well, Jalin Turner, as we all know, had retired. He decided to retire after losing against, who did he lose to? I think he lost he lost to Moicano, and after that he lost to Bahamondes. Bahamondes? Yep, he lost to Bahamondes by a triangle choke. Lost to Hanato Moicano by ground and pound. Won against King Green, lost to Dan Hooker by a split decision, lost to Matthews Gamrot by a split decision. Now, Jalin Turner is actually a really, really good striker, but his kryptonite is his wrestling and his grappling. And I don't know, man. He's a really talented fighter. He's 6'3", really tall, really big for the lightweight division. because majority there are many heavyweight fighters who are like not 6'3", but this guy is too tall for the division. He has really good boxing, really good kicks. He's really fast. Um, but but the problem is, I believe he just did not have it in him. He just does not have that it factor. He just does not have that fighting spirit in him, and that is something that you cannot teach or you cannot learn. Like fighting is something you just yeah. He's a really good athlete. He's a really talented athlete. He's a really well skilled fighter, but he just does not have the heart to fight. And Edson Barbosa, as we know, is on the opposite spectrum of that. Edson Barbosa is there to fight. He's there to knock you out. One of the best strikers ever in the history of mixed martial arts. One of the most exciting fighters in the history of mixed martial arts. And this might be his retirement fight, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure about it. But he has lost to Leron Murphy. Leron Murphy, as we know, could have been the challenger, but the UFC decided to give it to Diego Lopez once again, and he lost to Trucker Claus. I believe that he's missing a step. Like Edson Barbosa is getting old. He's getting up there in age. He's 39. He was born in January 1986. So that means that he's going to turn 40 in January. So he's almost a 40-year-old man. So I don't know, man. I genuinely do not know what to say now. Barbosa is a really good fighter. Really, he has that. He defeated Sodiq Yusuf, but back in the 2023, he has one loss that was in August. I'm gonna go with I don't know who to pick in this one because Jalin Turner just does not have that it factor in him. He just does not have the mental like he does not have has that mental he does not have the mental attitude to finish a fight. On the other hand, Edson Barbosa is old. He's getting slower. He I don't know who to pick in this one. I'm gonna go with Jalin Turner just because he's a young fighter. He's making his he has taken a break from mixed martial arts and now he has decided to come back. So I'm gonna assume that he will have his fighting spirit this time. He will have more. I believe that this time he will be more complete of a fighter. He's a good fighter. Like physically, he's there. It's just mentally and emotionally. I believe he will be in point. He will be on point, and I believe that he can defeat Edson Barbosa probably by an unanimous decision. Also, Barbosa does not really do a lot of grappling, and I believe that Turner is a better grappler than Barbosa. I'm going to go with Jalin Turner to win this one, probably by a split decision, maybe a unanimous decision. All right, maybe a finish as well. Who knows? Interesting fight. Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. I'm going to go with Marvin Vettori to win this one because I don't know much about Bruno Ferreira. If Bruno Ferreira defeats Marvin Vettori, I believe he's going to get ranked in the middleweight division. And it is not going to be easy to defeat Marvin Vettori. Even in his last fight, like in his last three fights, he has not been looking good. He was outclassed against Jared Cannonier. Against Brendan Allen, I believe he lost his family member. I'm not exactly sure. Something happened like that. So he was not on point. This guy is 33. He is not exactly super young, neither super old, kind of in his prime, 33. And he's on a really good winning. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He lost to Abuz Magomedov. That's not a good thing. And has defeated Jackson McVeigh and Arman Petrosyan. So I'm going to go with Marvin Vettori to win this fight by a dominant unanimous decision because Marvin has fought for the belt, I believe. He has fought for the belt once. He has fought against Izzy. Marvin is younger than that other guy. I don't know how. Look at his he has lost to Jared Cannonier. He has lost against Roman Dolidze and Brendan Allen. Both of them are top contenders. Brendan Allen is, I believe, top 5 right now. He defeated RDR. Lost to Robert Whittaker, lost to Cannonier, lost to Adesanya, won against Paulo Costa, won against Roman Dolidze, won against Kevin Holland, Jack Hermanson. Marvin Vettori has been in the middleweight rankings for almost a decade. Like he was in the rankings when Izzy was fighting. After that, he was in the rankings when probably Robert Whittaker was the champion. I believe Marvin Vettori was still in the rankings. Then Izzy became the champ. Then Izzy lost to Pereira. Then Pereira again. Then Izzy won against Pereira. Then I believe Sean Strickland came into the picture. After Sean Strickland, then there was Dricus du Plessis. And after du Plessis, now this is Hamzat Chimaev. And Marvin Vettori has still been in the rankings. So Marvin is a talented, Marvin has the best chin in UFC, arguably. I think he has the best chin in UFC. And I will say that he can handle the pressure and the striking of Bruno Ferreira. So I'm going to go with Marvin Vettori to win this one, probably by a dominant unanimous decision. All right, let's move on. What's next? Yep, the fight that I'm most excited about. This is going to be a fireworks. This is going to be all fireworks. Two really up-and-coming fighters. Two fighters who are kind of in their prime. Nazim Sadykhov, 31. Ziam, 28. Both of them are, I believe, unranked. Maybe Ziam is ranked, I'm not exactly sure, but Nazim Sadykhov is one of the most underrated fighters in whole of UFC, let alone the lightweight division, because he's a really solid striker. The dude has slick striking, and he is like Marab, that there are certain fighters that get better as the fight goes on. Sadykhov is one of those fighters. Like initially in round one, he's not really that aggressive, but come round two, come round three, he gets better and better and better, and then eventually he gets the finish. I think he's on a 3-fight finishing. Yep. He had a draw against Vyacheslav Porsche. That's bad, but he finished Terence McKinney. Of course, everybody finishes Terence McKinney, but he finished Ismail Bonfim by doctor stoppage and Nicolas Mota. That fight against Nicolas Mota was actually a really good fight, where there we saw that he can actually take a lot of punishment and he knows how to defend himself from those punishments. Because Nicolas Mota was trying to land so many shots against him, but he was not landing anything clean on Sadykhov. That is good about Sadykhov. He's a really talented fighter. And he trains with Marab, so his grappling is definitely good. Trains with Marab and also and all those people in Syndicate MMA, if I'm not mistaken, and also Sarah Longo's gym. So yeah, he definitely has that, has the defensive grappling necessary to win a fight. And coming from Azerbaijan, he definitely has the mindset as well. They're more locked in compared to the fighters that you have from the West, I would say. For Ziam, on the other hand, he's also a really talented fighter. Like I cannot say something bad about Ziam. 28 years old, really good record, 17 wins, 4 losses. When was his last loss? His last loss was against Terence McKinney. That is bad. But then again, you never know. Terence McKinney might show up and knock you out. After that, he defeated Michael Figleg, Jai Harbert, Claudio Puelles, Matt Frevola, and Mike Davies. Like none of them are, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think none of them are as good as Nazim Sadykhov. And I'm going to pick Nazim Sadykhov. Farid Ziam is a good striker. He's a good grappler. I believe he'll be a better grappler compared to Sadykhov, but I believe Sadykhov can do enough defensively to probably get a finish against Ziam. I'm going to go with Nazim Sadykhov to win this one, probably by a finish, maybe a second round finish, maybe a third round finish, or maybe a dominant unanimous decision for Nazim Sadykhov because of his striking prowess. He's a really slick striker. I'm going to go with Nazim Sadykhov to win this one. Let's move on. I really don't care about this fight. I'm going to go with Maycee Barber because she seems like she's on a better ranking, but she hasn't fought in 2025 or at all. Corinne Silva, who did she lose to? I think she lost to somebody. Who did she lose to? Lost to Vivian Arujo. Defeated Adrian Lipski, defeated Edson Barbosa. I genuinely do not know anything about these two fighters. Like I have seen them fight, but I do not remember anything significant about them. They're not exactly fighters that you will remember when you see them fight once. So I don't know who to pick in this one. Maybe Maycee Barber because she's the favorite one. So I don't know. And she used to train with Ben Askren at one point of time. But now, of course, Ben Askren is not there. Like he's there. I mean, he's still with us. But what I mean is he's not there to train her because he has been suffering from, he had a really bad health condition and hope he recovers really quick. And he is recovering really quick. But I don't know where Maycee Barber trains right now, but it is what it is. She's 27. She's young compared to Corinne Silva. Maybe Silva will win this one. I generally do not know. If Maycee Barber defeats Corinne Silva, she might get a shot at the title shot. She might get an opportunity to fight for the belt against Valentina. That might happen. You never know. But still, I'm going to go with Barber probably. Terence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. Now, this is the fight. This is also going to be a really banger of a fight because Chris Duncan, he shows up to fight. There is not a single boring fight with Chris Duncan. I have not seen this guy in a single boring fight. He is a really good grappler. He is recently becoming really good at grappling. His striking is also really good. He trains in the same gym with Renato Moicano, Arman Sarukian, Matthews Gamrot, Dustin Poirier was there at one point of time as well. The Problem Duncan. I believe the Problem Duncan might be one of the best nicknames, one of the best fighter names that you can have versus T-Rex, Terence McKinney. I'm going to go with Chris Duncan to win this one, probably by a finish in the first round because Terence McKinney, when Terence McKinney fights, it's either a first round finish or a first round finish. He is one of those fighters who lives by the sword and dies by the sword, right? Yep. He defeated Vyacheslav Porsche by a choke in round 1. Defeated Damir Hadzovic by a choke in first round. No, whatever. Defeated him in first round. Lost to Rigovic in the first round. Defeated Marote in the first round. That is the interesting thing about Terence McKinney. You don't have to really worry about your cardio because you're only going to fight with him for the first 5 minutes. And majority of the time, it's never really the first 5 minutes. It's probably in the first 2 to 3, 4 minutes. You are either going to win that fight or lose that fight. Everything happens very quick. So I'm going to go with Chris Duncan. I believe he's a better grappler. I believe he's a more he's one of those fighters like compared to Terrence McKinney. I think Chris Duncan is at least somebody who can follow a game plan. Chris Duncan might not be the most patient fighter, but compared to McKinney, he's definitely more patient. I'm going to go with Chris Duncan to win this one, probably ground and pound. Yeah, first round. Something has to happen in first round. Chris Duncan by first round. Okay, the last fight of the prelims that I will be talking about in this video. Grant Dawson, again, another teammate of Chris Duncan. He trains out of American Top Team. At one point of time, Grant Dawson was on a really good roll. He lost to Bobby Green, but that was after he moved to American Top Team after the entire James Cross, whatever happened regarding that betting scandal. So after that, Grant Dawson, he changed the gym, went ahead and joined American Top Team, and there he started training with Renato Moicano, Matthews Gamrot. They are like really good grapplers. Grant Dawson himself is a really good grappler. KGD, I don't know what that means. Against Manuel Torres, who's a really good striker. I don't think Manuel Torres is a grappler, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. He is 30, 5'10". I believe they both will be of similar size. But I think Grant Dawson will be stronger because he's a grappler. Grapplers tend to be significantly stronger compared to someone who's a striker of the same height, same body weight. Grapplers always tend to be stronger just because they are trained in that way. He has only lost to Ignacio Bahamondes, and we all know Ignacio is a problem. He's a really good fighter, really good. Like he has really good striking. He won against Drew Dober, defeated Chris Duncan, really impressive, defeated Nicolas Mota, and he has defeated Frank Camacho. But I think Grant Dawson will be a little too much for Manuel Torres because Grant Dawson has been ranked. He trains in a better gym. Apart from that, he has more experience. Like 23 2-1. That is actually a really good record. 23 wins and 2 losses. That is a really impressive record. Like this might not seem like considering he has been a fairly active fighter as well. Like he fights. He fought 2 times in 2024. He's going to fight 3 times he's going to fight 2 times in 2025 as well. He has defeated Diego Ferreira by unanimous decision, defeated Rafa Garcia, defeated Joe Solecki, lost to Bobby King Green in 2023. That was actually a really bad loss. I don't know why he lost. I believe a right hand knockout, and he got knocked out in the very first 33 seconds. Really, really bad knockout. And I think in this fight, ever since that loss, I believe he has learned a couple of tricks. I think he will utilize his grappling. He will make this fight really boring. He will keep Manuel Torres on the ground. He'll try to take him down. Maybe he won't be successful in the first attempt, second attempt. In the third attempt, he will get Manuel Torres on the ground and control him. And this will continue for 3 rounds. And I can see Grant Dawson winning this fight in a boring manner, but a solid unanimous decision. So I'm going to go with Grant Dawson to win this one by unanimous decision. I will repeat my picks just for the record. Marion Santos by unanimous decision. Abdul Malik by a finish. I don't know this one. Jalin Turner by a finish. Marvin Vettori by a decision. Sadykhov by a finish. Duncan by a finish. Grant Dawson by a decision. And that is it from today's video. Subscribe and peace out.